Hi, my name's Nick. I just want to tell you a story about how I became a Christian. I was brought up in a Christian family in my early years, my teen years, but I didn't want to follow the Christian faith, and I resented it to a point. And so I spent most of my early teens in that with my friends, drinking, smoking, following my local rugby team and growing involved in fighting and all the kinds of things that you do in the world. And I was just living for that. I like the music, and that's what I lived for. And I started doing things I shouldn't do and stealing money. And then when I was in my later teens, I ended up having to solve a particular problem, but I decided to leave Wigan and leave home, and I felt I had two options. One was to go to London, or one to join the army. And I decided to join the army to get away from Wigan, get away from church people, and to be able to do and live out my own life without any of that. So I got on the train. I remember getting on the train and going off to join the army. And as while I was in the army, after about 6 or 7 months, things were going all right. And that one weekend, went out with the men as you do, and we went round town, round the city of Cambridge, and we've been drinking and what have you. And I just decided that I thought, it's all shallow, this. I've done everything at home. I've wrecked a lot of relationships. I've messed up, and here I'm in the army, and it's all shallow. Relationships shallow. And so this particular day, I went back to the barracks and I prayed. I got down to knees and arms there at the bottom of the bed, and I said to God, if you're real, you need to show that you're real. I don't know who's right, but whoever's right, please show the right people who've got the right faith. And within a short period of time, I was injured and I was sent home. And a friend I hadn't seen for a long time, lived back of where I was, rang me up one night and said, do you want to come, out of the blue, said, do you want to come to a youth group? Because I was 18, 19 at the time. And I was like, one night, I had a night where there was nothing happening, or none of my mates were out, we were doing it. And I said to this lad, yeah, go on, I'll go with you. So we went on to his church youth group, and I went back the week after, and I started going along to his church youth group. And then I went to church on a Sunday morning, started going along, and then in Easter of 1990 came to the point where I thought about it and thought, I have to make a decision here. I don't like playing games, so here's the decision. Either I believe this or I don't believe it. And I said, right, so I believe it, I'll accept it. I'm going to pray the sinner's prayer. And I went in a room and I prayed the sinner's prayer, and I thought I was just filling in a tick box like you join a club. I thought that's what it is. I'll agree to all these things and I'm in the club. I didn't really fully understand it. I went home, went to bed, I woke up the next morning, and there's a supernatural experience that absolutely radically changed my life. Absolutely changed my life. I can remember the bedroom, it was a sunny day and it was shining in, and it was as though somebody had just lifted the veil off my eyes and I could see the truth. And I really fully understood that this Jesus of 2,000 years ago is real, it's true. He is real. There is life after death. There is a Jesus. He did do it. And it radically changed my life. All my relationships were resolved. All my attitudes, being foul mouth, my outlook on life completely started to change over a period of time. And advancing a lot through the years. I used to give my testimony to other young people when I was a young person, showing how I'd changed, seeing people become Christians through my testimony when I was younger. And then I met my wife, got married, and then we had another part of my testimony is that our first baby died a month old, and her name was Emily. She died in 2000. And if it wasn't for my faith in Jesus and knowing that there's a life after death, knowing that there is eternity, I don't know how I would have survived. But because of being a believer in Jesus, I have a rock, I have something to hold on to in such dreadful circumstances of losing a child. Losing a baby is horrific, and it was terrible. But because of Jesus, because of my faith in God, that has kept me, my sanity, and has got me through that period of time. I have 3 other kids now that are growing up, and I know one day I will see my little girl again in heaven, and that's kept me strong mentally, and even with my wife as well. We both agree that through Jesus, believing in Jesus, that has kept our life intact through him.